Hello, everyone. I'm Damon. This is my mom, Cynthia.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
We're just laughing. We're having a lot of fun doing these videos. We're on number 7, I think, now in our series.
Yes,
and
we're learning as we go.
We're here to help you guys beat foreclosure. That's the whole point of this whole thing. That's why you're looking us up and taking the time out of your day to watch our videos. So we appreciate you doing that. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. We're going to be trying to upload content. I think weekly is what we're talking about as we finish up our series here. We're going to try to do like a weekly update. So
a lot of that will be feedback from you. We've already received some questions. We thought we would devote this one to some of the questions that are asked of us, and we'll show you a letter that we've received, and we'll try to answer some of those questions as well. But we need to hear your questions because they're very specific and unique to your home and to your circumstances. One of the questions that's asked is, how long do I have if I've defaulted? You're going to have 90 days, that's 3 months of not making your mortgage payments
before
you go into default. And then you get a letter of intention. And then if you have not paid off the back amount and gotten yourself caught up in your payments, if you haven't been able to sell the house or do a refinance or a loan modification, then you will then be given notice of an auction date. Then the auction will occur, and then the next thing is you literally get evicted. So
do not let it get to that point.
No.
Contact us or anyone. Get help way before that. Don't put your head in the sand and do nothing.
People are concerned because they've already, they'll say, oh, well, our house is, we already have an auction date. And so, there's probably nothing you can do. We can help you if we have just 2 weeks, as much as 2 weeks.
Even less. I mean, I've had a counterpart in another state that literally went to the courthouse the day of when the sale was supposed to happen and was able to stop a sale like 2-3 hours before it was supposed to be auctioned off. So we don't recommend waiting like that to the last minute.
We don't like that.
But there are examples. I know of some examples of literally at the final hour you can save it. So don't think it's ever too late.
That's like a stay of execution.
Right. Yeah, same thing.
It gives us a heart attack. So we don't really want to do that. The other thing is that I wanted to talk about before we show you one of our letters is that we find that most houses, people say to us, well, it's tip-top shape. You can come in, anybody can just walk right in. Well, I've had a design business. I've done homes for over 20 years, 23 years now. And I know what it takes for someone today to walk in and think, okay, this is a house I want to buy. And normally, if you've been in arrears, you have maybe not paid your taxes also, you haven't had money to make sure that the HVAC is in perfect shape, the floors are all consistent, the paint looks fresh. There's just a lot of things that have to be done. So that's one of the things that you have to be realistic about it. And that's one of the reasons that we need to come and see your house and see if there's anything that we can do to help it so that we can get it more marketable. But then that becomes our problem. One of the things, if we can make a cash offer, save some of your equity, we've got to talk about your loan and all kinds of things with you. Sometimes there are liens on houses. People have personal loans. We would like to be able to help you get as much money out of your house as you can. We, of course, then have to have a margin of us going in, paying for the repairs, but we would then pay the closing costs and the escrow fees and everything. So you're able to get some cash and get out and start on your new pathway.
And I don't know how much HGTV has to do with it, but most buyers now are expecting these properties to be turnkey and updated.
Yes, we've said this before, that the people that are buying homes usually are ones, if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, that have children, and mom's usually working and they don't have time. Sometimes dads now are even working 2 jobs. So they don't have time to come in and do the construction and what have you. So that's a house that's a very difficult house to sell. We tell people the best thing you can do is sell it yourself. Keep the payment that you'd have to make to the realtor. Try that. But there are many of them that then go throughout the listing period. Then you've lost time. Maybe the house has come down in value even some more. So those are things we need to talk to you about. But now we'd like to show you a letter that we did receive.
Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's share the screen.
And we'll try to answer some of these questions. I'm sure you'll have questions as well.
That. Share that, and hopefully it's blown up big enough
that you can really kind of see it.
And I don't have to put my glasses on either, which is nice.
Can we be bigger?
Oh, no? Yeah. Thank you. Wow, Mom's learning.
See, I'm learning about all
how
these
good
things.
Mom's getting.
I'm really not, but see, I'm visual. I know how it should look.
That's an added girl for Mom. She caught. I overlooked it. Good job, Mom. All right, so we're blown up. And
so let's take this one example here and share it with you.
Yeah, we got an email the other day.
Your circumstances will probably be different, but there's some good questions in here. So
there's a lot in here. We're going to try to unpack it.
Some of it,
we could be in here for a half an hour going over this.
But let's just address some of it.
I'm 5 months behind on my mortgage payments. Only have a part-time job and have a wife and 3 kids. The bank wants to foreclose. Because of inflation, there is some equity in the house. Can you help? And then it goes on. There are a whole bunch of questions here. The first answer is yes. Yes, we can help. We can always help. Are there any financial institutions that can help other than my bank? We have a whole network, of lenders that we can use. Of course, there are always other people that we can talk to. But if your obligation is whatever lender you have the obligation, at some point, yes, you are going to have to talk to them directly. We don't have a problem helping you do that.
Right.
If and these mortgages change hands and they're constantly being sold and bought, and so you definitely at some point are going to have to deal with whoever your lender is, right?
Yes.
With that situation.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Is that good for that part?
I think so.
Could we renegotiate the mortgage with the bank, and what could we expect? What do you think on that, Mom?
Well, that's trying to revamp your loan. And yes, of course, that's the second thing we recommend is the first, or probably the first thing. And then if you can't get that modification of your loan, then we suggest you go ahead and try to sell your house by yourself. But with that remodification, we've talked about this in prior videos, that you must have 2 years of work experience behind you. You have to turn in W-2s. You have to add that amount that you're in arrears to the end of your loan at a higher interest rate. So normally your payment, whatever it is that you haven't been able to pay, is going to double. And not only
especially as the rates keep going up.
Yes, right? They've gone from 3 to 6 something.
It's not a good time right now to be trying to refinance because of how high the rates are.
Right. But then the other thing that's a problem sometimes for a lot of people in pre-foreclosure is that in order to get that loan modification, you must show proof over a past 2 years of making at least 2 to 3 times
3 times, right?
The amount of the new payment. And that it can include husband and wife, but they're only giving about 1/3 of the people that apply for these loans the loan modification. So yes, you can do that, and you should. That's the best thing to do. If the bank will work with you, you can do that. That's wonderful. You've saved your house. That's perfect.
How long can we put off I'm just reading along here. How long can we put off the bank before we have no more time?
90 days.
You're going to have the initial 90 days, right? And then you're going to get the notice. And as I understand it, the banks want to be able to help you and to work with you. So they may be more receptive than you think. There's a thought that they can be scary and whatnot. We would love to be able to help you do that, but I think they would rather talk to you than have dead silence and crickets and not hear anything from the borrower, right? Is there any way we can fight this? Of course, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about, is fighting, beating
giving you all these options.
That's what we're here for. Could we get some type of second mortgage? quick answer, probably not. It's probably not a good idea with the timing of it. I don't know why they would want a second mortgage.
Well, if you're in arrears, you won't qualify to get a second mortgage. They won't give you the loan 99% of the time.
Is there some way of salvaging any of our equity? Yes, of course.
Absolutely. That's what we're trying to do.
Exactly.
We want it to be a win-win. We have to make some money, fix up your house, give you a cash offer, do the repairs, sell the house. Then we take the risk of the market change, interest rates changing, instead of you having to do that and or just losing all the equity that you have in your house.
Right. Would someone be willing to make our mortgage payments, let us stay in the house, at least for now, until we can pay off the bank? That's going to be more of like a creative type of solution, I would say.
Or if you have a wonderful uncle.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
who'll do that for you. Let me know.
No, but that's
Call
like
us.
That's the whole like subject to
yes.
If you had a really good rate and mortgage already in place, you would be able to bring someone in that can take over those payments. Yes. Let you stay in the house, that you have to look into that, but everything's
that's creative finance.
Yeah, it's all negotiable. Should we try to sell the house ourselves to solve the problem? As we mentioned earlier, go for it, try it, see what the market will do for you.
But we do have a lot of homes that come up on the multiple listing that don't sell, and then it shows you that they've fallen out of that listing. And they're usually people that are trying to sell it themselves.
Right.
You may
they're trying to
be fortunate and have a buyer.
The 5 to 10%, whatever it is, but they're going to lose time is the thing.
Right. That's a balancing act there.
Mm-hmm. Are there any government programs we could apply to for help? There's one I was just looking.
Maybe show them that.
Yeah, over the internet.
It's a government site, and yes, there are some agencies. Most of these, I'm going to just kind of summarize it. We're going to show you where the site is, I think, here. We're trying to. If the government is involved in relief programs, you may have already tried this. Again, it depends on what your other debts are. And they will usually have a cap of about $80,000. If it's more than that, then this government relief program doesn't apply.
So I just typed in government programs for home loan forgiveness. You can find all of these. This is the first one in California. It's going to tailor it to us in California. I click on this mortgage relief program. So you're seeing this as I'm going through. So so there's this mortgage relief program in California. If you click on it, I think it says something about assistance up to $80,000.
Right, that's what I was just talking about.
That's what you're just talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. Mortgage relief up to that. Partial claim loan deferral, same thing, up to any eliminate COVID related partial claim.
Up to $80,000 again. They're all up to 80. And here's one on back property taxes that's up to $20,000 for delinquent property taxes. So the problem that I perceive in all of this is time.
Right.
Because what will happen is if you're already into pre-foreclosure, you've been given a letter of intent, then they're going to set up a day for an auction, and there are tons of requirements. And so the thing that will probably, unless you had started this before you went into pre-foreclosure, you're probably not going to have time to complete all this. They're saying that you're going to have to prove, pandemic-related financial hardship after January 21st, 2020. So, you guys can look at this yourselves. This is just one example. I think I just wanted to show that. So that was the government question. Can we find someone to be a part owner of the house in return for getting us current on our payments? Again, that's a creative solution. Creative financing. The quick Sometimes
answer
that's possible.
Yes.
If you can get somebody that'll do it, it is a possibility. Yes.
How do we negotiate with banks, realtors, prospective buyers, other helpers? That's where we come in. We're here to help you every step of the way. You can, as we were saying earlier, you can try to go it alone in the beginning, but that's what where our expertise will come in to help you with all of that. Mostly because of time. You have to know a person to call, a bank to call, a loan officer to call, an agency, whatever, because the thing that's going to beat you is time, and you want to be the one to beat foreclosure. Yeah. How are you going to make money by helping us? Great question. A couple of different ways. Let's say if you just worked with a lender, we may get a referral fee with any of the lenders, possibly. But we are in the business of buying houses. That's from an investment standpoint. That's what we do. We are house buyers. So we make money, as we've mentioned before in our prior videos, going over the spread that's created for us with the amount that we will negotiate with you, and we will have room there to make a little bit of profit, because any investor that comes in is going to have to see the potential to make profit on the property. If they don't give themselves a big enough profit margin or window, there's no point, unless they're going to hold on to it and look at it from a long-term standpoint of, okay, I'm going to hold on to this property, put it into my portfolio, maybe rent it out, maybe do an Airbnb with it, whatever, and hold on to it long-term.
But that's not what we do. We like to offer cash and then go in, and I use my design skills and company to restore the house, and so that I know it'll sell quickly, and then put it on the market. So,
you're right. We're just short term. We try to get in and out as quickly as we can.
And mostly because we have to take into account the risk of, gee, what if the interest goes up another whole point by 6 months from now?
Which it very well could.
And what if houses come crashing down even more? So for us to hold on to it for a long time doesn't make sense at this point right now.
Right. Let's see. How do we know that we can trust you? That's why we're making these videos. That's why we're trying to establish a little bit of rapport here, right?
Well, we'd like to meet you, and it's up to, we have to know if we can work with you. We'll be honest with you. There may be some situations that we can't come in and get you the money that you would need out of your house. And we'll just have to tell you that up front. We're going to show you the numbers and work with you and see what are all your possibilities.
How much experience do you have? We have over 20 years really in the housing business. I think you started your company in 2002. I've had my real estate license since 2005. We've done fix and flips in other states. So we have a good background of experience to help you guys. And that's not even touching on the whole realtor side of it.
Right. How are you getting money to do this?
Oh, okay. So we touched on that a little bit too. We also have partners that we work with. Every deal is going to be different. We can get hard money loans if we want to, but we have certain partners on the East Coast that we have a deal worked out with that are pretty much our money guys. So we work hand in hand with them.
Right. In Georgia. Yes. Right.
But yeah, again, going back to what we were just saying, we're trying to get in and out fairly quickly as well, because yes, funds are borrowed and whatnot.
Right.
There are costs involved to borrow those funds. So that's why we want to get in and out.
Right. Time is always a very important element in anything to do with real estate, usually.
Mm-hmm. Why would you be better than someone else? I touched on it the other day, and I still say the same thing. Mm-hmm. We're a mother-son team here. What you see is what you get. I mean, we are going to answer the phone. That's the whole thing. We're a small enough company that we can personalize it. It's not like you're seeing us on TV.
You're on hold for 25 minutes to talk to somebody.
I mean, I'm literally putting out, this may change over time, but my cell phone is on our site there under the contact information. So you can literally call my cell phone. And so when you make that call, when you decide to make the call, you're going to be dealing with us and not anyone else. And I know as companies get bigger and whatnot, that doesn't happen as often, but I think we pride ourselves on the fact that a lot of our clients have actually become friends of ours over
very nice.
20 some odd years, that we can still go out to dinner with or see a movie with or whatever. So it's the personal aspect of it for us, establishing those relationships. As I just said, many of these people become friends with us throughout the process that we've stayed in touch with.
Why can't we do it ourselves? You can. Some of it you can try. You can try the loan modification. You can try selling your house by yourself. But sometimes it's nice, even in that process, to just have someone you can call and ask a question. And you can do that. And then if none of that works and you need us to step in and help, that would be the time to start really going over the numbers. So the big thing of this is to let you know that we do look at your questions. And this is my first YouTube experience.
Mine too.
Yeah. So, we're learning as we go. But if there is something else that you would really like us to address, that we're not providing you the information that you need, shoot that question to us, or let's have a Zoom talk. And that way we can, it's an interactive thing where we can ask you things if we're not understanding what it is that you're needing to find out.
Very proud of you. You're getting the lingo down. That was really impressive. The more you say it, the easier it gets. Like I said, on the YouTube page there, you'll see the subscribe button. Click on that subscribe button. Here we are, I think, on our 7th video. If you haven't done so already, I'm assuming you would by now, after 7 videos. There's a little notification bell on the top right there. Click on that. That will alert you as soon as any of our new content comes in. As we've mentioned before, we're going to try to start doing weekly videos, I think is the game plan for now.
Our 8th one, which we'll be doing shortly, is going to focus on what has changed right now and what is the market circumstance right now, and the things that you need to be aware in the process of going through your pre-foreclosure and collecting information. Just don't bury your head in the sand, because it's not going to help you. We're not going to judge you. We're not going to in any way find fault with your whole phase of wherever you are.
And if we can't help you, we'll let you know that
we'll
too.
Tell you that.
I mean, absolutely. So, there are going to be times where maybe it's not a good fit, but give us the opportunity to just at least have a phone call. It's not going to cost you obviously anything to talk to us.
Right.
So don't hesitate to reach out. And so we'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.
All right. And go back and click on the other ones, because then that might answer some of your questions also.
Let us help you beat foreclosure together. All right. We'll see you on the next video.
Bye-bye.